Namaste, Cancers and Cancer Risings, and welcome to Soul Horoscope Super Scopes. My name is Christopher Witecki. I'm a modern mystic, and I'm now the sensei to serious joy because I believe everyone can step into their happiness, and I call it serious joy. That's enlightenment, basically, in New Age terms. I'm also a step astrologer. I believe everyone is perfect, but they're just kind of sometimes out of step. Everyone's naturally born good at one step, depending on what their zodiac sign is. And when you're a Cancer or Cancer Rising, you're natural born step 2. Step 2 is I feel, the emotional aspect of life, and a very important aspect. It's actually the field or state of awareness that bridges outer reality to inner reality. It's also the state of awareness that connects everyone on Earth. So emotions are very important, and this is the wisdom of Cancers and Cancer Risings, the ability to manage emotion. And I know you maybe feel like you don't manage it well, but honestly, whenever someone's worried about not managing something enough, that's usually when they're doing better than most people, because other people aren't even thinking about it. They're just allowing their emotions to emote. So what are the Cancers working on? Well, there's actually 2 parts this week. We're going to wrap up the Sun in Aquarius. And for you, that is the wrap-up of trust and intimacy issues, drawing particular boundaries around certain aspects of life so you feel safer. All right. Now, you'll be tested on your personal transformation or personal boundaries this week, and you'll be wanting to hold true to what you love most and let go of what you don't love. So that is the boundary lesson, and it does lead to value, it does lead to money. So for Cancers and Cancer Risings having money issues, it's probably a boundary issue in disguise. Then secondly, the Sun moves into Pisces, and this is where we'll shift into your belief structure. As the Sun moves into Pisces with Mercury still retrograde, there will be a heavy reconsideration of what you really believe in. Now, beliefs are based on what our heart really believes. These are heartfelt facts. That's what a belief is a heartfelt fact. So you'll be sorting through this week your heartfelt facts and separating them from the facts that are not heartfelt. Facts that you were told to believe, facts that you adopted from your childhood, facts that necessarily you don't, your heart doesn't agree with. Those are the facts we want to get rid of. Just the facts, ma'am, so to speak. And this week will be a bit of a tougher week. This will be a week of a test of faith. In fact, the way I put it is there will be spiritual tests and there'll be a soul introduction to the new story. We kind of wrap up a lot of our story with Venus retrograde. I'll talk more about that later. But as the Sun wraps up in Aquarius, you have to hold true and have faith and trust in yourself. Now, some of the other stories in your life are what's causing this to maybe be disrupted. For instance, the Saturn issue, which is having to be strong for your own personal beliefs. You also have your ego versus long-term relationships and marriages, which has been very difficult. You're struggling to reinvent yourself in your career and moving forward in that regard. And all the while, you have to learn to be more compassionate to yourself. So you're pretty hard on yourself from your old belief structures. These are all the reasons to lose trust in yourself at the last minute. So the final test of trust will be Monday and Tuesday and holding space. And then through the week, it shifts into belief structure. Now, for the rest of the week with belief structure, what you're looking to do is uncover the false beliefs. Belief structure leads to life purpose. What gives us the most purpose in life? What life is worth living for? Well, that's what the heart believes, and that's what we ought to be on, right? But we often are on other paths because we want money or security or other types of things, or ego or revenge or whatever. And so we tend to have other beliefs that pollute our core beliefs, which is what our heart wants. So in the first week, you'll be removing the false beliefs, and that means that anywhere where you were really off guard, like completely off in life, like I used to believe that he was a good guy, anywhere that you were just ridiculously off in your beliefs might come to a bitter kind of obvious egg on your face sort of moment. All right, so now I want to shift actually to Venus and our Venus quotients. And remember, Cancer is basically step 2. But if you have Venus in Cancer when you were born, you are what I call a 2VQ. And sometimes the Sun and Venus are in the same sign, and sometimes not. There are people with other signs who have a 2VQ. So I'm about to tell you your love story coming in the future. Now, it's been a difficult and hard journey for the 2VQs and the Cancers and Cancer Risings because that Venus retrograde was brutal between Christmas and through January. That said, this week it's about acting on what you know when it comes to love and partnership and not turning back and not second guessing anymore. You should have already made a decision as to whether you should stay in the situation, move forward, or whatnot, and move to the next policy, the new policy or rule set of relationships. And that policy ought to be that your feelings come first. That's just my opinion as a serious joy sensei. If you want to be in joy, you have to, as a 2VQ, take care of your own feelings first. And so the rules change in all partnerships. And this week, you're acting on and moving forward with those new rules. You don't want to roll back into the old situation. As far as if you are single and looking for love, well, I think the universe is looking to match 2VQ's hand once they get to the new paradigm. I also think for Cancers and Cancer risings that your beliefs have to be behind the new love, and at the moment, beliefs are holding it back. But look to your sun sign's horoscope as well to understand where you might be held back with your VQs. And if you want to know your VQ and you're a lady, come to gavenus.me. This is a social network on Facebook. Come down. We will take care of you. We'll help you look up your 2VQ or whatever your VQ happens to be. And now I've created some videos that we post as well that goes into further explanation for that. So come to gavenus.me for more on that. And for the rest of everyone, I do have a very decent call to action. For one, ladies, come to gavenus.me like I said. Secondly, please subscribe to us on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, that does help us get the message out, especially when we have new videos, so please subscribe on YouTube. And lastly, come to soulmart.me if you'd like to be on our email list or see any of the products and services or other shows I produce. I have Esther 101. I have also some other talented professionals on the site, so come down to soulmart.me and get on our emailing list. Sometimes we give away some interesting things. All right, my I feels and the 2VQs and the Cancer risings. Such a pleasure to be of soul service. I'll see you in 7 days with more. Until then, live, love, be.